Hello, my name is Tracey Maulfair, and I teach 4th grade at the Lebanon School District. My inquiry, the question I wanted to find out was if graphic organizers increase the recall of vocabulary and math material. As you can see by my board, it's the effects of post-graphic organizers on 4th graders. Okay, my hypothesis, I started out full-heartedly believing that graphic organizers would increase the recall. Okay, the problem is that our districts, or actually in particular our school, is in corrective action 1. So time is our enemy. We want to make sure that we have get the most out of our time to teach the content that we have. And we have a lot of content according to the Pennsylvania state standards that we are supposed to be teaching, and these students are supposed to be comprehending. So I wanted to see if it was actually worth using the graphic organizers, because it does take a lot of time to do them, or if it was more beneficial just to keep teaching more content instead of taking the time for the graphic organizer. Alright, the process. What I did was I introduced the geometric terms. I put them up on the board. I had the students tell me which term goes with which picture. Then I had the students physically stand up and show me the forms, such as right angle, obtuse, angle. I had them use their arms. I had them use their fingers, such as right angle. They would make this sign, and so forth. So I actually had them standing up and moving. Okay. Then I passed out the whiteboards, and I would say an angle, and they would have to draw it, or I would draw the angle on my board, and they would have to write the name of it on their board. Okay, they really enjoyed this part of it. They also enjoyed the part where they had to stand up and get moving and actually physically mime the different vocabulary words. The fifth thing I did was, this is where things were split, because I had two groups. I had my math group, which consisted of most of my ELL students and low-functioning students. I had them do the graphic organizer. I made a 4-column graphic organizer. Let me move this over so you can see it. There we go. I have this 4-column graphic organizer where I have the word. I typed the word out for them. I have the picture where they had to draw the picture, the definition where they actually got to use their textbook if they could not get the definition, but I had them try first. They were in pairs, so they got to work together. And then the last thing was the word again. So that was their graphic organizer that they had to use. While the second group, my homeroom group, was homogeneously grouped. I went through the same exact process with them, except for when it came to the graphic organizer, they actually got to do their homework instead. Okay, so they didn't get that extra piece of the graphic organizer. Now, what sparked my inquiry was that in our first class we learned about the 6 strategies to teach the English language learners, and I believe this lesson actually had basically all 6 of those strategies. It had the vocabulary and language development, the guided interaction. Okay, they definitely had peer-to-peer interaction with these vocabulary words. They had metacognition, where they actually had to do the graphic organizer. They had to think about what they were doing and how they were thinking. There was explicit instruction, which is strategy number 4. Okay. Strategy number 5, the meaning-based context and universal themes. It definitely had to do with vocabulary and the sentence structure, and the last one, the modeling, graphic organizers, and visuals. That definitely was hit in this lesson. So that is what really sparked my interest in this particular inquiry, is that it did use the 6 key strategies. Okay. My inquiry actually, it did not, it didn't support my hypothesis. Okay. I thought that it definitely would make a difference using the graphic organizers, and it turned out that my ELL students, their scores in the test averaged a 79%, while my homeroom class actually averaged an 80%. So it, excuse me, so it definitely didn't support my hypothesis. I was really surprised, I was shocked, and I didn't know if maybe I did something, maybe it was the group of kids, or maybe my sample size wasn't big enough, or so I'm not sure why it didn't work out, but I do continue to use the graphic organizers, and I will continue to use the graphic organizers because I feel that it does, it puts their thoughts into concrete, and I will continue to use them. I believe that the impact that this study has had on me is, first of all, how to use the 6 key strategies. Okay, I definitely learned how to use those, and I will continue to use those. I definitely see the benefit in those. I believe my students, my homeroom students especially, who were not taught math in that way, they loved it. They loved getting up and moving. They loved getting to use the whiteboards, where they are used to just going from the book in their math class. So I definitely am using these strategies, and will continue my inquiry with the graphic organizers.